Kansas NSF EPSCoR, Partners in Science and Technology. EPSCoR stands for Experimental Program to Stimulate Competitive Research. The National Science Foundation founded EPSCoR to strengthen science and engineering throughout the entire nation by avoiding concentration of research in certain geographical areas. By helping scientists to be more competitive in obtaining federal funding, NSF EPSCoR is working to provide long-term improvements in science and technology at the state level. EPSCoR provides opportunities for multidisciplinary, multi-institution collaboration and promotes diversity and workforce development. Kansas EPSCoR also encourages students to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The Cyber Commons project brings universities in Kansas and Oklahoma together to focus on how climate change and changes in land use, such as increased urbanization, are affecting biodiversity, plant and animal diseases, and invasive species in the Flint Hills grasslands. The Prairie Light project provides faster, more stable computing in Kansas. It has created better computer and communication networks so research scientists in Kansas can better share data and ideas. Kansas EPSCoR's current major project is the Climate Change and Renewable Energy Initiative, putting Kansas on the map as Climate and Energy Central.
Kansas is in a terrific position to target two of today's most pressing issues, climate change and energy. Here in Kansas, we have many talented researchers working in both of these areas. However, what is unique to this NSF EPSCoR funded project is the fact that these researchers are talking with each other and working together. So effectively, what we are doing is leveraging their combined brain power in order to provide a fresh perspective and doing an integrated climate and energy project.
The EPSCoR initiative has two primary themes, renewable energy and global climate change. These two themes are nicely connected, since one of the best ways of addressing global climate change is to develop alternative energy sources.
The project brings scientists together from University of Kansas, Kansas State University, Wichita State University, and Haskell Indian Nations University. It involves more than 60 scientists from many fields, including agronomy, anthropology, computer science, economics, geography, mathematics, sociology, engineering, biology, chemistry, and physics. The Climate Change and Renewable Energy Initiative includes 4 interrelated research projects: Climate Change and Mitigation, Biofuels and Climate Change, Nanotechnology for Renewable Energy, Climate Change in Indigenous Communities. Climate Change and Mitigation. Kansas is likely to be more impacted by climate change than other places in the country, making it a natural laboratory for climate change research.
Kansas has a lot of diversity in its climate. In eastern Kansas, we go from over 40 inches of rainfall on the eastern side of the state, and then as you go west on the Colorado border, we're down to 14 inches of rainfall.
Projections show that western Kansas is going to become even drier. This could dramatically affect agriculture and cropping systems in the state.
By understanding how drought, how changes in weather patterns, changes in our climate affect cropping systems, food, feed, or biofuels, we will help buffer the Kansas economy and Kansas agriculture to changes in weather or climate.
Kansas has also been an energy state, providing oil and natural gas. With this EPSCoR project, we're looking at alternative energies and how climate impact in agriculture will affect growing second-generation biofuels. Biofuels and climate change. Kansas farmers are growing first-generation biofuel feedstock crops, but can they profit from growing second-generation biofuel crops, such as miscanthus and switchgrass? Biofuels are one way for Kansas farmers to offer a renewable energy source that can also help mitigate the effects of global climate change. Teams are meeting with farmers in groups of 4 to 6 to assess how farmers would respond if second-generation crops were viable in Kansas.
With a better understanding of how Kansas farmers make their decisions, we can inform legislators here in the state of Kansas and congressmen and women in Washington, D.C. how they can continue to support Kansas farmers. Then Kansas farmers in the future can feed and fuel the world even better.
Nanotechnology for renewable energy. Our resources for coal and oil are becoming limited, and using them damages the environment. We need to transition to a sustainable energy supply. Our use of fossil fuels accounts for 85% of our total energy use today and is expected to double by 2050 and triple by the end of the century. However, our need for fuel is pretty complicated right now. We aren't at the point in our technology where we can use electricity for every application.
Well, it is unlikely that in the near future we would have electrical airplanes that can fly to China from the United States. Our team has two focuses, both converting solar energy into useful form. One in electricity, the other is in biofuel form.
Kansas researchers are using nanoscale-based science to more efficiently capture and convert solar energy to electricity. Kansas EPSCoR scientists have already developed protein-based solar cells. The bacterial protein they use is cheap and easy to grow. The protein assists in collecting solar energy, much like chlorophyll in photosynthesis. Partnering with the Lawrence, Kansas water treatment plant, scientists are developing ways to get high yields from algae grown in outdoor bioreactors filled with treated wastewater. The wastewater-grown algae consumes the nitrogen and phosphorus in the wastewater, and these pollutants are removed when the algae is harvested as a fuel crop. Climate change in Indigenous communities. In all sectors of the Climate Change and Renewable Energy Initiative, Dan Wildcat, Joan Nagel, and the Haskell Environmental Research Studies Center work with tribal college students to explore climate change and energy issues on Native American lands. They are breaking down barriers and opening pathways for Native American students to earn advanced degrees in science. Tribal college interns learn how they might use modern technologies like remote sensing data, GIS, climate modeling, etc., to help them adapt to the changes that often they are seeing very dramatically where they live.
This is a mystery. They may be the first generation in their family to even go to college. And when you start thinking about what graduate school represents, you might as well suggest they go to the moon. We give them these opportunities. It's like we pull back the veil and they go, oh, I can do this. In fact, I'd like to do this.
Kansas EPSCoR is helping to enhance the scientific community within our state. Through its latest research initiatives, EPSCoR projects are making Kansas climate and energy central. For more information, go to nsfepscor.ku.edu.